So one of the things that we were hoping to do this weekend is actually pick out some backsplash tile. We thought maybe we'd be able to do without it, but the more we're using the kitchen, the more we realize the water gets everywhere, and so does food. So definitely something that we want to do. We want to keep this kitchen as large looking as possible, since it is tucked away in a corner of our very open living space here. And so something bright and light is probably in order. Nothing too dark. I did find these really gorgeous navy tiles, and I just don't think that those are going to work out just because it's a little too dark. So we have a couple choices. Some of them are from Home Depot. Some of them are from the tile shop. And so those two establishments are obviously nationwide. So you might be able to find something there, especially if you see something you like in this grouping. So first one that I liked were these long tiles from Home Depot. They do have a little bit of a wave pattern on it. They are high gloss white. They are 3 by 12. I really liked the elongated pattern. Makes it look a little bit different than just a regular subway tile. Plus they are extremely cost effective. I think they're like $2 a tile, so it ends up being about $8 a square foot. So super cost effective, a little bit stylish, so that's kind of nice. This one here, this one here is gorgeous. It's a hexagon tile, which I have a love affair with, have yet to actually use it anywhere. It is not a high gloss. There's a little bit of a sheen to it, but not much. And it looks like it's kind of like plant-ish sun patterns. Really like this hexagon tile. We also have two natural stone tiles. These are both the same type of stone. These are both from Home Depot. Sorry, that one's from the tile shop. These two are great. When you put a sealant on it, it brings out the colors. And so I was thinking that these kind of yellow, kind of custard tones would bring out some of the yellow in the cabinets without being like too matchy-matchy. So there's that option. This is another one we really like. It's also from the tile shop. The interesting thing about this is that it is 3D, so there's some, I don't know if you can tell, but the branch portions are raised. And no matter which direction you put the tile in, the branches meet the branches of the next tile. So you don't have to be as careful about tile placement as you might have to be with some others. I really like that too, just because of the nature aspect of it. It is white, so that's bright. And I think it kind of goes with our cicada cabinet pulls. The other option is this hex tile. It's actually really neat looking, and the earth tones around the edges kind of bring out the brass tones that I'm hoping to put throughout the kitchen. This is also the most cost effective. This is from the tile store. And it's probably going to be the easiest to install because we don't need a tile cutter. You just need tile snips. So that's an option. And then we have, last but not least, this other subway tile. It's about a 3 by 8. It's super irregular. And it's supposed to look irregular, so when you put it on the wall, it's not flat. The edges of the tile are not straight. There's some cracked lines, which you can't really see here. Let's see if I can do it without breaking it. So in the light, you can kind of see there's some cracked styling on the high gloss. I thought this would kind of appeal to our rustic character that we're doing in the house, but Jonathan doesn't like it. So there you go. So of the ones that we have here, we do have 2 potential winners, at least out of this bunch. Right now, the forerunners are the hex tile, which I think goes really nicely with the retro feel of the kitchen without hitting you over the head retro, and then the branches just because of the nature aspect of this house. So those are the two that I'm thinking we're gonna look at going with. Whichever one we don't pick, if we end up going with the hex tile, which I think is really beautiful, then I'm gonna see if we can remember this tile when we do the bathroom. The bathroom is not going to be done anytime soon, and this is just for the shower. The rest of the bathroom is complete. But that tile would be really, really gorgeous in the shower area. I don't know how the raised portion would do with like cleaning, but I think it's really gorgeous. The nice thing about this, and this is what I recommend doing, is going to get a few pieces of each tile and bring it home with you so you can see it in the light of your home. Some of these looked totally different in the halogen fluorescent light of the stores, and so when you bring it home, you put it on your wall, you can actually see how it's going to look. The one tricky part of our kitchen is the area behind the sink. As you can tell, there really isn't a whole lot of space here. We were originally going to do a wood backsplash, just like a short little wood backsplash, but there just isn't enough room between the sink and the wall to do so. So the tile I think will fit great, but we have this size portion here. So for instance, if we were going to use the hex tile, we would end up having a little piece that we would have to cut, or we would have to cut along the bottom and raise this up. So the hex tile wasn't exactly ideal. The white tile, however, is just fine because it's less of an issue with cutting. It's just a straight line all the way across. So you just have to cut, and then we would have some edge there. So you can see where the hex tile is super convenient, because you'd essentially just throw the hex tile up here, and it would be exactly the right size, and there'd be very little cutting to do. So that's kind of nice. I do like the look of it from afar, but I also like the branch tiles too, so we'll just have to see which wins out. The nice thing about all of our choices is that they're pretty cost effective. I think that the most expensive tile we've selected is $12 a square foot. So that's not terrible as far as prices go. I mean, you can get really crazy, like $45 a square foot, which is fine if you're just doing like an accent piece, like sometimes you see above the stove. We are just going to go up probably about 18 inches to our first open shelf, and we're going to continue that all the way across and hope that maybe the vent hood will end right around there too. So we might just need a little extra in order to get to where the vent hood goes. But those two tiles are our forerunners, and I think that either of them is going to be a really great option.